What if one phone call, one red flag, one federal investigation could cost you tens of millions of dollars in the NBA offseason? Malik Beasley, one of the league's most lethal three-point shooters, nearly had it all this summer. A multi-year deal, financial security, until whispers of gambling allegations opened up a legal nightmare. Malik Beasley and the Pistons were in talks on a 3-year, $42 million contract to bring the free agent sharpshooter back to Detroit. But before the ink could dry, the FBI showed up. Yeah, the actual FBI. And just like that, the deal vanished. Gone. The contract was off the table. The Pistons pivoted overnight. And the money? It went to Duncan Robinson. Yeah, the guy Heat fans wanted gone. A guy who was literally benched during playoff runs. A player who was rewarded with a massive $90 million contract after exceeding expectation as an undrafted player out of junior college, but never lived up to it and practically disappeared after signing the deal. But because Duncan Robinson had a squeaky clean image, had connections to Detroit by playing collegiately for the Michigan Wolverines, and had a quieter and more reliable resume, he became Detroit's safe bet. And they signed him to a 3-year, $48 million contract. So how did Malik Beasley's FBI scandal and messy past hand Duncan Robinson a massive payday? And was Robinson really worth that money? Or just in the right place at the right time? Let's break this down. Malik Beasley's career has always been flashes of brilliance mixed with chaos. Drafted by the Denver Nuggets in 2016, but buried on the bench for 4 seasons. Forgotten and barely getting any playing time. Then, February 2020, he got traded to the Timberwolves. And boom, he finally breaks out. In 14 games, Beasley averaged 20.7 points a night, grabbed 5.1 rebounds a game, and drilled 42% from 3. Instantly, he's a legit threat. Minnesota rewarded him by signing him to a 4-year, $60 million contract. From benchwarmer to $15 million a year deal. But how does Beasley repay them for this investment? With a felony arrest a few months later. On September 2020, ESPN reports said he aimed a rifle at a family outside his home. And the suspect walked up to their vehicle, tapped on the vehicle window, pointed a gun at them, and advised them to get off of the property. Police later searched his home and found multiple firearms and over 800 grams of marijuana. He pled guilty, took probation, and was sentenced to 120 days in a workhouse beginning after the 2020-21 NBA season, and was required to do anger management. Beasley said at sentencing, "I am not that person. I humbly apologize for my actions." The league hit him with a 12-game suspension.
You had an incident at your place here. Explain what happened that day.
My head wasn't there that day. There was a lot going on with the George Floyd things, not being able to go outside with COVID and basketball. I love basketball and being able to travel and things like that. And just my head in general, things going on in life, my family, things like that.
And just like that, the breakout story derailed. This incident sent his career spiraling. He would go on to play for 3 different teams in 2 NBA seasons: Utah, the Lakers, then the Milwaukee Bucks, as a role player coming off the bench once again. But then came Detroit, who signed him to a 1-year, $6 million prove-it deal. And this time, he proved it. Beasley played all 82 games, dropped 16.3 points per night, and shattered Detroit's 3-point record with 319 makes, the most in a season in franchise history. The previous record was 211 makes in a season, so Beasley surpassed it by more than 100 shots from beyond the arc. He nearly led the entire league in threes, missing the crown by 1 single shot thanks to no other than Anthony Edwards, his previous teammate in Minnesota, going absolutely nuclear on the final night of the season by hitting 7 3-pointers. To surpass Beasley with a total of 320 makes for the season, to secure the lead and the crown as the 3-point champ. Detroit made the playoffs for the first time in 6 years, and Beasley was a contributor to the team's success. Heading into free agency, it was obvious that he was about to cash in big. It seems like a no-brainer that the Pistons would retain him by signing him to a multi-year extension. Until the bombshell came. In June 2025, ESPN breaks the story that Beasley was under a federal gambling probe from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. According to sources, investigators were digging into debts, lawsuits, and possible gambling connections. Financial issues piled up too. A lawsuit by his former marketing agency claimed Beasley failed to repay a $650,000 advance and suffered from sporadic payments, vague promises, and breached contracts. Then came the eviction story. Reports surfaced in August that Beasley was literally kicked out of his luxury Detroit apartment while under investigation. The investigation pointed to allegations of prop bets related to NBA games, suspicious betting activity in the 2023-24 season while with the Milwaukee Bucks. Suddenly, Beasley wasn't just an NBA sharpshooter anymore. He was a headline. By August, his lawyers claimed he was no longer a target of the federal investigation, but by then, the damage was done. Free agency paused, offers pulled, reputation questioned. The Pistons backed out. The contract they had for him evaporated. So where did it go? That's when Duncan Robinson entered the chat. Detroit didn't just shelve the money, they redirected it straight into Duncan Robinson's pockets. Yeah, the same Duncan Robinson who Heat fans watched lose his starting spot, ride the bench during playoff runs, and fade after signing a massive $90 million contract with Miami in 2021. He never fully delivered after signing the deal. His numbers dipped, his role declined, and he struggled to stay on the floor. Here's the thing though, Duncan had one ace in his back pocket. He played college ball at Michigan. That Wolverine connection made him a local favorite in Detroit. And unlike Beasley, Robinson had a spotless reputation. No major legal entanglements, no gambling whispers, and no rifles. Just a clean, tall shooting guard with precise three-point capabilities who never made a headline for the wrong reason. So Detroit signed him on July 1st, 2025, just 3 weeks after Beasley's scandal hit.
Duncan Robinson is leaving the Heat after 7 seasons.
Wow.
I'm told he's reached agreement on a 3-year, $48 million deal to join the Detroit Pistons. So Kate Cunningham has a new shooter.
He sent this message to Detroit fans right away.
What up, though? Duncan here. I'm out here at Vegas Summer League watching these young guys compete. Super excited to be joining the Pistons. Can't wait to get to Detroit and get this thing rolling. Go Pistons.
What up, doe? Now, here's the question. Did Detroit make the right call? Now, let's be real here. Neither Beasley nor Robinson is exactly Steph Curry, but both are known for one thing: letting it fly from deep. Let's run the numbers, because stat for stat, it looks like Beasley was the better player. In the 2024-25 season, Malik Beasley averaged 16.3 points, 41.6% from three-point range, and 319 threes made for the season, while Duncan Robinson averaged 11 points per game, 39.3% from three, 190 threes made. On paper, Beasley's the no-brainer. His upside was higher, more volume, more points, and more scoring firepower. But contracts aren't just numbers. Sometimes reputation kills deals faster than missed shots. Detroit chose optics, consistency, somebody with an outstanding reputation, and good off-court behavior. They get a veteran shooter, someone who can occupy corner threes, stretch defenders, and help spacing. That's exactly what the Pistons needed. This also gives Duncan the opportunity to live up to another solid NBA contract. So now we ask, what if Malik Beasley never had those off-court moments? What if no gun incident, no financial missteps, no gambling probe? Would Detroit have locked him in? Would the millions have been his? Maybe, but in pro sports, reputation is like insurance: visible, costly, and expensive to rebuild once broken. Robinson, meanwhile, has a shot, no pun intended, to prove Detroit made the right call. But contracts aren't guarantees. Role, fit, and consistency. All of it will matter. Was Detroit right to trade off the higher upside of Beasley for the safer bet in Robinson? Should Beasley's past be held permanently against him? Or can someone with this kind of off-court baggage still earn second chances in the NBA? Drop your thoughts below. Smash that like if you felt this breakdown hit. Subscribe if you want more deep dives, NBA stories. Let's get it!
When are we gonna understand that we are put on earth to love?
this art is about. Everybody want to figure out how complicated life is and